Creative, which won the Internet Marketing Association's Best Use of AI in 2024 for creativity, and the AI Creative Agency of the Year of 2023. And what he's going to do is he's going to show you some examples of how they're using AI in their creative approach. And also, we just saw examples from Delphi of text and audio cloning. We're going to show you some video cloning as well, so you can see kind of where that is. A big hand for Hector Garcia.
What's up, my beautiful peeps?
Hey, man.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out real quick. You know, I wasn't sure what to expect. I've been part of other masterminds, and this community, I've felt so welcome with you guys. Like everyone that I've gotten to talk to, it's been quite, it's just, I feel heartfelt. I'm a connector, and I lead with my heart. Big shout out to Scott, man. I mean, you put this together, and it's a great community. So thank you so much. So yeah, we will get into some video cloning in a little bit, and hopefully, it'll be kind of cool. So let's get this party started. So I'm the owner of MBN Creative, and those are the couple of awards that I've won recently. And I'm not showing you those because they're plastic. A lot of people have plastic and awards and stuff, but I want to tell you why I won those awards. So in 2023, I spoke at an event where it was called Where AI Meets the Ocean. And it was a place on Lido Island in Southern California, Newport Beach. And people dropped 25 grand to be there for a 3-day event. And I got to hang with all these people that were into AI, kind of similar to this group here. And there was, Palmer Luckey. He invented Oculus VR goggles. He was a 21-year-old billionaire. I put my stake on that entire place. Like, we did all the window graphics on the screens that were next to me. We created videos using AI in between the speakers. So there was always something playing there, like a lighthouse with the ocean crashing into the jetty there. Really cool stuff. I challenged my team to do some really cool stuff. We designed their pickleball court and the pickleball paddles, and we were everywhere on there. We won that award. It was an honor, and it was not like a whole year ago or a year and a half ago. It was like mere months ago, like 5-6 months ago. It was at the end of 2023. Things are moving incredibly fast. So in 2024, Best Use of AI for Video Creativity, we took a course probably 8-9 months ago through Mind Valley, and it was a 6-month course that I signed up for. It wasn't cheap, but I was already me and my team were 7 months into AI, and all I wanted to do was continue to fortify my business. I could see what was going on, and I'm like, we need to dive in. We spent 6 months. I paid my staff, everyone, including myself, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 hours. And once we got through with the course, I'm like, how are we going to implement this in our business? Everybody here is into sales. We're here because we have competitors. I am always looking for a competitive edge. So we implemented, and we did some really cool things. So that's why the plastic's up there, just to kind of explain. Anybody remember 1990?
Yeah.
That year, 2 things changed the trajectory of my life. You remember those gas prices? Those are Southern California gas prices. I think here in Utah, they're probably half of that. So not that big of a shock. But I tricked a girl into marrying me in 1990. We've been married for 34 years. We're still happily married. I'm an empty nester. I'm like, this is cool. I got my own space back again.
Your marketing works, right?
Exactly. Anybody remember an ad similar to this?
Yeah.
This was the coolest ad ever. I grew up in LA, and I learned the Mac this year that ad came out. And I was a hustler. I was busting it. I didn't go to college. So I was like, I just was into design and painting and drawing my whole childhood. It was kind of my escape from the rough streets that I grew up on. But this ad, it just kind of stuck to me, like Procreate, you know? It's like, wow, that's cool. I learned the Mac, and shortly thereafter, I had an opportunity to work for an agency. And I was like a kid in a candy store. When I walked into this place, it was like they were working on all these big brands. You know, back then it was Marlboro, you know, and that was cool to smoke. Just these big brands, and there was this whole art department. They were professionals, like people that were, man, I just looked up to them because they had these degrees from these major art schools, design schools. So they were drawing and painting and airbrushing and doing photography, and I was just like, man, this is so cool. They interviewed me, they liked my work, I had some skills, and I had just learned the Mac. And they go, do you know how to use this thing? And I go, yeah, I just learned it. They go, well, you're hired, because nobody else here knows how to use it. So I'm plugging away. I'm around this wonderful community of people, and little by little, the grumbling started. I could hear in the shadows, people are like, hell no, I'm not touching that keyboard. I'm a true artist. I work with these hands. I'm not touching that computer. There's no way. They drew a line in the sand. I see the same line being drawn in the sand today with people that I ask about AI. And little by little, those people were like complaining in the unemployment line. They bought more computers. They said, Hector, do you know anybody else who can use these? And I started looking around for friends that I could teach, train, go to school, man, learn this thing. And it revolutionized the trajectory of my career. Aside from getting married, totally changed the trajectory of my life. It was a wonderful thing. LA boy fetching him an Orange County girl. It was awesome. So, fast forward to 2022. In my business, I'm a creative agency. I do consumer packaged goods. And there's always competitors. All of us have competitors. Every year I'm always thinking, what can I do to outdo the gifts that I give to my clients during the holidays? And I figured out a few years ago, I don't do the holidays anymore. Some people celebrate Christmas, some people celebrate other stuff, some people don't celebrate at all. And a mentor told me once, he goes, why don't you go flying when there's no traffic? Christmas time, every CEO is flying around, going on vacation. They are busy, they're trying to wind up the year, and they've got a table full of stuff. They don't know who gave them what, you know, just gifts everywhere. So I like to fly in kind of like March, April, a surprise attack. I created this box with the goal of outdoing everything I've ever done the prior year. This is the first time I used AI. And I have a sample here. I'm gonna give this away a little bit later. But this is what I do. I design multi-sensory packaging. And what that means is things can be visual appealing on the shelf, the grocery store, the big box, whatever. I need to be competitive. I need a competitive edge. So we are hardwired for tactfulness, humans are. If you've ever been to a grocery store and there's a little kid, they pick up a ball, they don't even know how to talk yet. Mine is that sense of ownership. We're hardwired that way. Well, I always have to use psychology in getting my clients' products sold on the shelves. So I use every advantage I have. I've been in the printing industry. I am Hector the connector. I'm the real connector. And I use that to my advantage, I suppose, to gain competitive favor in the marketplace. So I add embellishments, things that you can touch and feel. It's beyond beautiful. It's beyond, you know, visually appealing. It's tactile to the touch. We as adults, we got plastic. We can pay for that stuff. Once we pick it up, it's on. It's ours. A good example is, who owns an Apple phone here? Okay, a lot of people. Most people have 3 or 4 boxes. They serve absolutely no purpose, but it's that tactfulness of them. We save those. I've got a ton of them. It feels so nice you have a sense of ownership. So that's why I do what I do. This particular project, I met a young lady, and she spoke at an event. She actually owns a nonprofit that supports young mothers, their children, and the fathers. Not too many people care about the fathers when it comes to nonprofits, but she includes us in there. The statistics of these young mothers are staggering. I'm not gonna scare you with those statistics about what happens to these young mothers when they're not supported within a year. Allie Woodard's the founder. She was speaking, she sat next to me. I'm like, girl, what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? You're blonde hair, blue eyes, beautiful young lady. You've dedicated your life to helping all these Latino kids in Anaheim and Garden Grove and Santa Ana, where it's like rough. Like, what drives you? She goes, well, I was once in foster care, and I was 16 and pregnant, and there were 0 resources. She introduces these young ladies to God. She has them go to church, they get a GED. I have 2 daughters. That touched my heart. I said, if my daughters didn't have me, I'd give them so many advantages. Where would they be without me? So this is my official nonprofit. Inside that box is butterflies, like you see. Those butterflies are the first use of AI, my introduction. Probably a tool none of you guys have ever used, but it's called Mosaic. And that's a HP software. I had somebody, because I'm a connector, I get to use software that only the big dogs use, like Coca-Cola, Nutella, Nestle, those giant corporations. But because of my connections, I'm able to utilize these services. Every one of those butterflies is 100% unique, just like you guys are, just like I am. We're unique. Inside that box is a origami butterfly. There's also a sheet to make your own with video instructions. If you make that and you post it and you tag us, we donate to that nonprofit. And if you go, my bestie lives in SoCal, can I send her or him one? Sure, for free. You just fill out the form, we send them a sheet, they make their video, they post and tag us, we donate again, and again, and again, and again. That's this box. Every single butterfly, 100% unique. We take one file that we design, you can make 50 or 100 or 500, and it's a unique pattern.
Is it every butterfly in
100% unique.
every box all across the world?
There is not,
Like snowflakes?
there's not 2 alike, just like none of us are alike.
Like snowflakes.
I don't know, perhaps. 2024, we got into AI with our packaging. You guys know and love this brand, Krusty's? They're a sleepy $600 million company. These pancakes on the left, I've been art directing food photography for years. That's what's on the shelf today. What's on the right is AI generated. So that syrup on the right and the berries and all that, that doesn't exist. I don't need a photographer, I don't need a food stylist to do that. I've been art directing this stuff for 30 years, and
One of the things I just wanted to step in, one of the things I think is amazing is I grew up in the printing business. My family owned the biggest printing and engraving company west of the Mississippi for 50 years. Every man, like in my family, grandfathers, uncles, dad, like everybody came home smelling like ink, like printer ink. It's like the most distinctive smell. And we had these incredible craftsmen in the back of the shop that would make all the ads originally by hand. And then they invested in the first kind of like digital, kind of computer to be doing this stuff. It cost $1 million for that computer. Needed its own room. The speed at which Hector is able to do this and the precision is unbelievable. How long did it take you to actually do the AI version of this? Which I just saw in the store, by the way, and I couldn't believe how good it looked.
yeah. We're talking half a day. It's getting better and better. But what used to take 3 weeks to schedule, 10 to 15 grand, to the client, I gotta go art direct, I gotta travel somewhere. There's a food photographers, that's all they do is shoot food. They don't shoot people, they don't shoot kids, nothing, just food. They've got a professional food stylist who's been doing this for years. They've got an assistant, they got a photographer. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment, camera equipment, lenses, props. I got a garage full of props, like stuff I bought from all over the world going, this is a great, reclaimed wood surface table, plates from Mexico, plates from here. I got napkins and forks and, in my garage full. They're rendered absolutely useless today. I recognized that with AI, this is a second revolution in my lifetime that's affecting the trajectory of my career so dramatically.
I mean, the other thing, just a guy, again, it's a guy that grew up in that industry. Just the fact that we used to have photographers.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you don't have to wait for the fruit to be in season. Like there's so many things that you used to have to consider, and none of that applies today when you use AI. And I don't know if you mentioned this, but this right here, in my experience, that pour is perfect. And it could take you 2 days to get that pour if you could ever get it right.
Yeah.
So the amount of money that you're able to save by leveraging the AI to create this is incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do customers save money? Absolutely not. Because I've invested heavily into my business, my people. I've made risks. I've paid money. I've trained my people. What I'm offering them is speed to market, baby. If Krusty's wants to come out with pumpkin pancakes, guess what? Instead of waiting 3 weeks for the photo shoot and all that, they get it a week from me. Same cost. They want to iterate. Oh, they want to pour. Oh, we don't have to book another photo shoot. It's right there. We can do that in an hour or two. They want fresh berries. You don't have to pray that strawberries are in season, like you said, Scott.
Yeah.
So, all good stuff. This replaces 6 to 10 people. We're talking low carbon footprint. Do this in my office. I'm the orchestrator. I've been directing this stuff forever, so I know I know what camera angle, what aperture, what lighting do I want, something falling out of focus, move that berry, add a pat of butter, all that stuff. Good stuff, man. I'm very excited, in case you can't tell. Here's a couple of examples of packaging that is out in the marketplace now as of recent. And in the creative brief, my client said, I want packaging that parents and their children are gonna fight over at the shelf. I'm like, game on, brother, I got AI on my back. I created all this with my team. Lightning's fast. This stuff is flying off the shelf. Those are the tools we used. I did make a concerted effort to put HI in there. Where's my girl over there? Yes. Jessica, talked about HI. I hadn't heard anybody else talk about HI, but human intelligence is so important when we're prompting this stuff. If anybody has years of experience doing anything, you got 5, 10 years, you've got a distinct advantage to other people who don't have that, who are doing prompts. You got it up here, baby. That is a really cool product. Here's another one that we did using AI that's out in the marketplace. I got a full-time illustrator. She draws, she's amazing. Took her from manual, she's been with me over a dozen years, to something called a Wacom tablet, a digital tab, to now she's prompting this stuff in AI. Because it's in her head, because I've trained her the old-fashioned way. All that stuff makes a lot of sense, and it makes things easy for us. These things went to market, they were printed like in 3 weeks. That doesn't happen. Like from concept to the printed, this thing here, another thing, I actually created that out of thin air. That was in my head. I said, what's a good name for this? Because they didn't have a name for this product. This is a Latin and Asian fusion product. And actually I have equity in this. They said, they're an existing client, and they said, we would love to give you equity, help us with the packaging, the branding, use AI, have some fun. We did. These people don't exist. I prompted them. Latin, Asian folks, families, that's who the target audience is. That's for social. That imagery that's moving, that's runway ML. We could never do that. It wouldn't be cost effective to do that. So I absolutely love, my team loves what we're doing. Here's some photography. Can you imagine trying
So
to shoot
all
on
of
the
this is AI generated.
AI, no surfaces, no beach.
Wow.
Trying to be at the beach to shoot those tacos,
Right.
trying to get them to sit still. Holy
The
cow.
lighting, yeah.
That would be a huge challenge.
Jim.
Problem is, it's really hard to eat AI ribs.
Well, You'll never get any barbecue sauce on your shirt, bro. So these cocktails, all these shots are different. The girl there, I mean, just imagine having to deal with a model. Oh my goodness. No models, no attitudes, no, look at that, that's the bar that's flying in the air. That would take forever and be so expensive to shoot.
So a question I have is, for each one of these images, how many people did you have to put on the process?
Oh, it's just
One person?
Yeah, one person.
So that photo shoot may have taken 6 to 10 people in order to do.
For
you have
one shoot.
For one shoot,
Yeah.
you have one person that does that, and you can literally sit down, you could come up with all 4 of those things a day, a couple days.
100%.
Yeah.
Less than a day and we get all those. Because I got the human intelligence, the emotional intelligence to go, hey, check it out. Like, I don't gotta clear a bar. I'm like, hey, I want this background falling in focus, or I want, you know, this type of umbrella, I want this type of wood bar with that type of background. I mean, I do this in my sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm just elated that we can do it in so fast. Yeah, all right.
Uh-oh.
That's flattering.
You said, hook me up, coach.
So let me just share with you where this use case came from, and what I talked to Hector about. So what had happened was, in my previous mastermind, before the event, what I would do is I would, on my phone, send a personal video to every single person before they attended the event. And it was pretty much the same exact kind of message, but I would have their name. I wanted to personally address it to them. And so figure a relatively close message, different name. Picture, before the event, I would do 100 of those on my iPhone, and I would send them to each person. After the event, I would do 100 of those, and I would send them to each person. It took me so much time. So I called Hector, and I said, I got a question. Is there a way for me to record something one time and be able to upload all of the names, and then be able to basically hit a button, it creates those videos and sends it out to everybody? So I literally just, and can you make a video clone of me so that we can do that? And he said, let's try it. And so he said, come down to my office right now. So this is my right now thing. And so we came down, I recorded 3 minutes of video, and then he took it from there. And I'm going to share with you what worked and what didn't work, so you can get a sense of where some of the video cloning is today.
Yeah.
So could you show this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, Scott Duffy here. Thank you, Hector, for that great presentation. I am delighted to be here with all of you on day 3 of the AI Mavericks inaugural event. During our time together, you'll be exposed to several AI demonstrations designed to expand your understanding of what AI can do for your business today. As an example, this message you're seeing right now isn't even me. It's a clever AI clone of me. This AI avatar was created by uploading a script and a video sample of myself to a powerful AI tool. Again, thank you for being here. I hope you're having an amazing time and finding this experience both insightful and inspiring. Enjoy the rest of the event.
If there's anything that can take away a person's confidence,
You had a lisp. I didn't know you had a lisp.
So here's the thing. What I did is Hector had me record 2 3-minute and 35-second videos. Okay, that was what we did. 2 3-minute and 35-second videos. One, I basically did not move my hands or make gestures, and the other, I made a lot of gestures. And then what we did is we created a script. Hector wrote a script, and that was it. So 2 3-35s and a script. That's what we did. Okay. That's a different script than the original was a welcome to this thing. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool, I hadn't seen this. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna save so much time. I'm gonna save so much time. But what I hadn't factored in was this. Hector said, I said, how long is this gonna take? Am I gonna get this 15 minutes? He's like, no, go home.
Yeah.
He's like, go home. I said, okay, so you'll send it to me today. He's like, no, it's gonna take, you want 100? He said, I think it's gonna take 3 or 4 days to do it. And I said, why? And he said, because what I hadn't thought about was, even though the only thing that was changing was a person's name, every one of those videos had to render. And because they had to render, that took time to create the video. And so we had to watch, somebody from Hector's team would have to sit there and watch every single video and make sure that it completed the rendering and it worked out okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and so for me, for my use case, obviously it didn't work, and you guys got to see that. So it didn't work for that particular use case. But I know that this technology is moving along really quickly. You know, I know that Delphi is working on something right now that I'm sure will be amazing. But again, I just want to give you a sense of where it was. Now, what Hector said to me is he said, I think what we should do is just focus on making one video. What if you had one message, it was the same message, and that's what we did. And so so that's something that we're going to try for the next event, but show your video.
Sure.
Do you have your video?
Yeah, I've got
okay.
it. And it's not like lightning better, but it's a good example of where it is today, the
Right.
tools that are available to me today. I'll be talking to Andrew for the tools of tomorrow. Your boy Hector doesn't speak fluent Spanish, French, or Chinese, but I do. Qué honor ha sido compartir este tiempo contigo. Gracias. Quel honneur ça a été de partager ce moment avec toi. Merci. 和你共度这段时光真是荣幸。谢谢. I must say, what an honor it's been sharing the stage with so many amazing AI evangelists. I'm feeling truly inspired. I'd also like to extend my sincere gratitude to Scott Duffy and his team for creating such an incredible AI Mavericks mastermind experience. AI Hector's out.
I love it.
So again, we want to show you kind of what's working and what's not working for us. I think that, you know, some of these tools, the promise is they're going to be point and click, they're going to be super intuitive, they're going to be fast, easy to use, amazing user interfaces. Some of them, we used HeyGen here, so that's probably one of the most popular. That's what we use. This is kind of where it's at. If you're to bring somebody in, spend a little bit more time on production, you can get what Hector did. But again, for my use case, it wasn't the right thing. It's just not the right time yet. Make sense? You guys, a big hand for Hector over here.
One last thing to say. The future of AI is so bright. I'm gonna have to throw these bad boys on. No.
Thank you, Hector. It's brilliant. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks for the specs. Oh, hey, somebody's gonna get one of these. I don't know how to determine who gets this. But
Oh, let's put it up there. We'll give it out at the end.
All right.
What we're going to do is we're going to take 2 minutes. We have our next case study is going to come up. It's going to come from cave mines. And again, one of the things I kept hearing the most about last night was